Hey, this is Walter Jones.
This is Austin St. John.
And you're listening to
Ranger Danger.
Go, go, Ranger Danger. Go, go, Ranger Danger. Go, go, Ranger Danger. Matt and Michael's Ranger Danger.
Welcome once again to Mighty Morphin Ranger Danger. This is the podcast where Michael holds up the number 8. What are you doing?
I'm telling you this is episode 88.
Oh, okay.
I didn't prepare that. I didn't tell you before we started. I thought I'd mime it and thus do it surreptitiously, but you can't talk and read at the same time.
You're flashing hand signals at me. Well, I needed that information later, not when I was introducing the show.
Do you want to start again or keep
Nope.
going?
This is Ranger Danger. It's a podcast where we talk about Power Rangers. We're going to watch episode 88 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, entitled The Power Rangers Power Transfer Part 2.
This is what happens when we don't discuss that in advance.
Gotta get ready, gotta stay ready.
We should have mentioned last week, the reason that last week's episode was so good, and this week's episode is hopefully so good, is that they were written by Judd Lynn.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. That explains a lot.
And directed by Jonathan Zack, who went on to showrun for the past 4 years of Power Rangers.
I believe so, and for periods
into
the future as well.
Generally not well regarded periods of the show.
You know.
Ouch.
Yeah.
We'll get what we can get. Okay, so before we start, I want to talk about a press release that I found that was officially released the day that the Power Transfer Part 2 aired.
Okay.
So it was November the 9th, 1994.
Yep.
And what it concerns is the 3 actors who are leaving the show.
Right.
It's basically the official announcement,
So
which is amazing.
It wasn't announced. I guess there was no one who sort of cared enough and was old enough to recognise.
Everyone working in the show and its vicinity knew when it happened, and so didn't need a press release. Any kids they were trying to trick.
Yeah.
Any adults didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
So, this is when you go, hey kids, they've left the show. Because this is actually, their official send-off.
Yeah.
So, it talks about a couple of things. It talks about a bunch of projects for everyone that never ended up happening. So, I'd like to run through those.
Yep.
2 movies to feature all 3 actors.
Wow.
One called Cyber Strike, to be filmed in Los Angeles.
Sweet. That sounds like the most 90s, possibly 80s movie ever.
One called Act of Courage, to be filmed in Malaysia and the Philippines.
Okay.
Also in preparation was a feature film project called Children of Merlin.
Yep, I'm on board.
They were
If that and Cyber Strike were the same movie, everything I need would be covered.
Children of Merlin.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Because who knows what's coming? That could be anything. That's such a
tech wizard.
That's such a wild card, you know.
That's a movie I would have seen at least 8 times.
Yeah. I'm just going to write that down. Cyber Strike, Children of Merlin, next book by Matt.
They were also apparently preparing a live touring stage and arena show.
Yep.
On top
Not Power Rangers?
Yeah, as
them?
as legally not allowed to call ourselves Power Rangers.
Wow, okay.
In addition, Austin St. John apparently had 2 feature films in preparation that never happened.
Right.
One called In the Dark and one called The Marksman, both of which were going to be filmed on location in West Virginia. So not big budget productions, I'd imagine.
This all sounds a lot like My Girlfriend in Canada. It's what?
Right.
Sure, you find me, but I've got this Cyber Strike is a movie I'm doing.
Because I'm thinking, I've met your girlfriend, she's not in Canada.
No,
Yeah. Also, already completed, apparently, were a video from Austin St. John and a video from Walter Jones. Austin St. John's to be a solo video designed to show the history and techniques of various martial arts disciplines.
Oh, I heard about this.
Bound together in a fantasy storyline.
Yeah.
And Walter Jones's was going to be a hip-hop dance video showing the history and choreography of the dance form.
Yeah.
And they both guest star in each other's videos.
That never happened.
I've certainly never heard of them.
I've heard they I'm not sure about this. They were produced but never released.
It says here that they were going to be released by Christmas. So that was within a month of this press release coming out.
But that's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they wouldn't have released them.
We may have to go for a bit of a hunt, right?
Like, imagine being
sorry.
a kid who cares about martial arts.
Those guys are coming to Sydney like next month.
Yeah.
We should ask them about them.
Probably.
We should like get something autographed and ask them what the shit happened to those videos.
Yeah.
If they've got a copy, they have to go on the internet.
I'm sure they're not carrying them around in their briefcase.
No.
in VHS.
But if they have like a copy in a trunk somewhere in LA,
Right.
if they put them on the internet for $1, they'd make at least $5.
Definitely. Easily. That's us buying them 3 times.
Yep. And 2 other people. Like,
Well,
Their mums.
you take tax off. Like,
oh, sure, right.
But no exempt from tax, Michael.
So Tui Trang
Yep.
also was scheduled to begin production on something called The Adventures of Tracy Zedd, which she would star in, and there'd also be a children's storybook based on the feature film.
Wow.
That also
So they had
never
big
happened.
plans.
Well, that's like I kind of. It'd be one thing if one of these projects fell through, but for like all 12 of them.
Everything discussed in this press release never happened.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So then there's some bullshit about we decided that it was time to broaden our horizons and move forward, and
They wanted to
were-
be paid more than peanuts, and we weren't going to do that.
and we're thankful to have been given the chance to be Power Rangers. And then Saban Entertainment has a number of episodes in which they are featured already taped, which was at this point already burnt up.
Yeah.
And had been burnt up probably in like the last week and a half, because the show was airing 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So it says they will be showing these in rotation throughout the next year. So I don't know if they mean like
Repeats.
on repeat.
So what they're saying is they have repeats, which shows all have. That's not a unique trait.
The president of the Fox Children's Network says we will always consider them part of the Power Rangers family.
That's so nice, but so bullshit.
Well, here's the interesting thing, right? Walter Jones did come back to the show
Yep.
several times in like voice roles.
Yep.
So his first one of those was in 1999, which was 5 years after he left. But clearly he didn't like loathe the show
Yep.
enough. And then he also came back, I think later again. He did a voice, in 2002. He's one of the voices in Forever Red,
Right.
in which Austin St. John also came back.
Yep.
So clearly none of them like hated being on it. I don't know whether that was a case of like they were willing to give them the job, but
Yeah, it's fascinating to me that there's such a laundry list of things that fell through.
Looking at Walter Jones's IMDb page, like he appeared in an episode of Buffy.
Yeah.
He was in an episode of NYPD Blue. He appeared in 3 episodes of The Shield.
Yeah, and don't forget he's also like a cruise show king and a prince
of Nigeria.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So he did okay. Like,
Yeah,
let's
like-
not knock his achievements.
But it's interesting. I always think of these 3 as kind of not having gone on to do anything.
Yeah.
But he, apparently he did additional voices for Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs too.
There you go.
That's
Did he really?
That's like a non-zero thing,
Oh, I mean, like additional voices isn't exactly.
He got paid.
Yeah.
He was the lead on another show after Power Rangers called Space Cases, which starred a young Jewel State as well.
That's great, but it's not like his sort of successor who went on to have starring voice roles in all of the things.
He was also on 10 episodes of a show called Malibu Shores, which had Kerry Russell and Charisma Carpenter in it.
Great.
Like, I think, first of all,
Wow, man.
that I think ran for 10 episodes. I think we have to track that down.
I mean, probably. That sounds pretty great.
That sounds, okay. He's done all right.
I mean, it's no Cyberstrike Children of Merlin. That's all I'm saying.
That was 2 separate things. Don't get people's hopes up.
All right.
So it's just the part that fascinates me is that this press release came out the day they left the show.
Well, the day their last
Yes,
technical...
so it must have been like 6 months after they actually left the show.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how even the things that they say, this is going to drop in the next 45 days,
Yeah.
didn't happen. That means done, and like
Waiting to go.
potentially in boxes waiting to be shipped. Like,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot about this that smells like bullshit, you know? Like, I don't know on whose end. Like, maybe
Sure.
they were supplied information by the actors that was false, but there was clearly some mistruths at some point along the
yeah, I
line.
think we've got to agree there. So, this
That's
is
it.
the last time.
Yeah.
This is the first time someone's going to permanently leave this show.
Yeah, that's true. One of them will be back. The two others will not. They'll be gone forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad days.
It is. Swordboard.
Yes.
We came up with this last week.
Yep.
We want to rank all the swords.
Yep.
I've come up with 8 swords. Let me list the swords.
Oh,
And
hang on, shouldn't we do the sword board after? Because we're not done with the Sword of Light.
well, why don't we do the first 7?
Okay.
And then we can position
We can
the
see
Sword
where the
of
Sword of
Light.
Light goes.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll leave the Sword of Light out.
Yep.
Here are the other 7 swords that I could name.
Let's
Yep.
do it.
There's the Power Sword, which is the Red Ranger's sword.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. There is the Power Sword, which is the Megazord's sword.
Yep.
There is the Sword of Power, which was previously used to transfer powers.
Yep.
There's the Thunder Megazord's sword, which I don't know what type of like Japanese.
It's almost
long,
like a katana.
skinny sword it is.
Yep.
There's the Dragon Dagger.
Yep.
There's the Sword of Darkness.
Yep.
And there is Saba.
Yep.
Can you think of any other swords? Did the Canasti Knight have a sword?
He did, but I don't think that was a sword of merit.
Okay, that's fine.
If it was, it would have been called Sword of Merit.
All right, let's start with the first 2.
Yeah.
What's better, the Red Ranger's sword or the Megazord's sword?
That's a hard
This
one.
is a Dr. Zeus poem.
Yeah. See, the Red Ranger's sword was like the key part of the Power Blaster,
Yes.
True.
and he used it to fight Goldar in some pretty badass ways.
Yeah.
But then the Megazord's Power Sword was solely responsible for destroying all of the monsters.
Yeah, and it does fly down from the sky and...
Yeah.
I think if it didn't get shot down from the sky, which in my head is it gets released from a space station in a sort of gravity assist launch,
Yep.
it wouldn't be that cool.
Yep.
But
But it
that
does.
alone- like, it does do that.
Yeah.
So it is that cool.
Yeah. And there was that time where the Megazord was chained up or something, and it came down from the sky and like cut the chains.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's it. That's tight. It's better, yeah.
All right, the Sword of Power. I'm comfortable putting that below the other 2 swords.
Yeah, that's a pretty shit. Like,
It's
yeah.
more ceremonial, isn't it?
Yeah.
I couldn't even, like, draw it.
No.
And I know it's a sword.
And if it was that good at transferring powers, they just would have gotten it back this week for this thing. So, yeah.
All right, the Thunder Megazord sword. It does a cool, like, electric attack.
It's really cool.
It's pretty cool.
But-
it makes a period Japanese illustration flash behind you when you use it.
It's definitely cooler than the first Megazord sword.
So that puts it at the top of the list for now.
Yeah, it's so hard because like it doesn't have the awesome entry, but it has its cool sheath.
The
It
lightning,
has its sheath thing.
Yeah.
That's
the
pretty
lightning
cool.
and the illustration
Yeah.
and the animation over the top of it makes it.
And the
Yeah.
thing
Yeah,
that
I'd agree with
turns
that.
around and sheets it as the monster explodes.
Yeah, and it like
that's
clicks
fine.
into place. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, the Dragon Dagger.
Oh, that's hard because it's probably the most iconic of all these swords. Probably
Yep.
like as far as people outside like who aren't currently up on the show but remember it from their childhoods.
Yep.
They would remember that ahead of all the others. I think.
It's not a great, like, sword.
Remember the time though that it was fired from a bow and became like a green energy
But
missile.
then it's a better arrow.
Yeah.
And it's a flute 90% of the time.
That's true.
I'm willing to put it above the Sword of Power.
Okay.
But I don't think it's as good as Jason's Power
See,
Sword.
I feel like it doesn't belong on the list because it's cooler than a lot of these things in non-sword ways.
Yeah.
Are we ranking them on how cool they are as swords? That seems like the way to rank swords on the sword board.
But half of them aren't used as swords. Like the Sword of Power really isn't. Like the Sword of Light probably won't be.
But that's why the Sword of Power did poorly on the sword
That's
board.
true.
Yes,
Okay.
it's a poor sword.
All right.
On the sword
Poor
board.
swords get ignored on the sword board.
One sword, 2 sword, red sword, blue sword.
All right.
Right,
look-
so we're leaving the Dragon Dagger off.
Okay.
The Dragon Dagger is...
Not a sword.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dagger, if anything.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Alright, Sword of Darkness.
Yep.
That's a pretty cool
It's a pretty
design.
tight sword, yeah.
Yeah, I think The only reason it's worthwhile being even on the list is its awesome design. It's easily the coolest looking sword.
Yeah.
And it looks evil. It has a fucking evil tassel on it. You know?
But it did have a tassel.
It had a tassel.
Below the Megazord sword, but above Jason's sword.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, it doesn't become part of it like a big weapon. Although, yeah, it is cooler, isn't it? It's kind of like the edgy, evil version of Jason's
It's
sword.
the goth sword. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like your cool older brother.
Yeah. All right.
Saba. Saba talks
Yeah.
and shoots lasers from its eyes and
Yes.
can fly.
That's
Yes.
pretty good. That's a pretty
But
good collection of abilities.
He's
for
kind of a
sword.
dork. Like, as far as swords go. Like, he's kind of a goofy dipshit. Did you
I
think?
actually haven't I haven't seen an episode with him featuring in it properly
Right.
since, my childhood.
He's kind of like, yes, I'll help you out with that. No, it's a terrible Saba. But do you know what I mean, Michael? He's
Yeah,
kind
I
of like-
understand, but he's a floating, talking robot sword.
Yeah. Look, I agree with you. Okay. What do you reckon?
Above the Sword of Darkness? He's still not cooler than dropping from the sky yet.
I would agree with that.
Maybe if he does some stuff in the next couple
His
of episodes,
position in the sword board
we
will
can
get
adjust him
updated.
on the sword board.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. That's the sword board.
So run us through the list again. Just
All
so
right,
this is-
so from 6 to 1,
Yep.
Sword of Power,
Yep.
the Power Sword,
Yep.
Jason Edition,
Yep.
Sword of Darkness,
Yep.
Saba,
Yep.
Sword of Power Megazord Edition,
Yep.
Thunder Megazord Sword,
Yeah. Thunder Megasword.
Sword of Light to be placed
For this
positionally
week.
based on its role this week.
Absolutely.
Dragon Dagger disqualified.
Yep.
For not being a sword.
Cool. All right. Well,
that's the
let's
sword board.
let's go watch this episode and then we can find out.
Before we do that, if there's any swords we've missed
Yes.
that we
Good
haven't
point.
thought of, drop us an email. Matt, where can they get us?
You can send us an interweb mail, rangerdangerpodcast@gmail.com. You could even send us a Twitter tweet with your sword of choice. We're at RangerDcast on the Twitter tweets. We have a website where you can check out the sword board once we put it up, rangerdangerpodcast.com. If you
I reckon rangerangerpodcast.com/swordboard.
Okay.
will be where you can find the sword board.
Does Goldar have a sword?
yeah, but it's like
It's negligible.
yeah, it's attached to Goldar, so like
Wow. He looked pretty good last week walking through the hallway with his wings.
that's true.
That was a nice shot.
That was a cool shot, but that doesn't outweigh everything else he's done on the
I
show.
mean, Lord Zedd called him a butt brain.
He is a bug.
Yeah.
He earned that throughout his career.
Yeah, the butt brain sword does not bear like a slot on the list, I don't think.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Alright,
we
so
have-
we're going to go watch episode 88?
Yeah, let's do it, and then we can update the sword board with the Sword of Light.
Yeah, alright, we'll
Great.
see you guys soon.
Well, I called it.
That was basically exactly what we expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less.
Right up to incredibly disappointing.
Yeah, and also
Starting at incredibly
like
disappointing.
Brand introduces brand new monster to have the fight, and then Serpentera is overcome because he's out of batteries like an iPhone.
I mean, Goldar kept warning him.
Yeah, it's not like I finally
Do we get
Don't
the
blame Goldar
best
something.
Lord Zedd slam of Goldar
Yeah.
of all time
Easily.
in this episode?
Easily. We'll get there. We'll get
I
there.
think the three of us all reacted really viscerally to like, wow. Okay, so we start resolving the cliffhanger that no one cared about with the tied up Power Rangers on Earth.
yeah.
There's a Lord Zedd brand like lock
Yes,
tying them
so
to a
good.
tree.
Obviously.
A Zedlock.
And
a
the-
Zadlock. I got nothing.
You tried.
I tried.
You tried.
The wind is starting to change, and soon it will blow the mists of sleep
Sleep cloud.
I told you this is a thing. The wind changed, and very slowly the smoke comes around the corner.
So Adam manages to almost reach a soccer ball.
Now, the thing is, I saw that soccer ball there, which is like set up.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
So he manages to stretch and gets it.
Yeah.
And Aisha says to him, "Soccer now?" Like, yeah, he decided they'd play a friendly game of, five-a-side.
Yeah. And it's
So-
interesting because a few seconds later she gets the plan enough to sort of take part in
Yeah.
it. She goes from like thinking he actually just wants to play soccer while chained up to getting the plan without any extra information. No one says anything in the space of about 2
It's
seconds.
not the most obvious plan.
No.
So Rocky scoots around so he's completely behind the tree. Adam yells, run, Rocky, you can escape. The putties go, oh shit, Rocky's escaped, we better chase him. The putty gets close enough. Adam kicks the soccer ball directly into the putty's chest. The putty explodes. Adam can now
Dropping the
reach the
keys.
keys to the
Good
lock
plan.
with his
Yeah.
feet.
Nice one.
I do like too that they rescued themselves.
Yep.
Because they are like supposed to be proving that their Power Rangers material here, and they do that by getting themselves out of the situation, defeating the putties. So it's
Yeah,
pretty
they
good.
figure it out.
Yeah.
So they fight the putties. It's a pretty good fight.
Yep.
They kick the soccer ball into the sleep machine. And they don't just, like, drop kick it. They bounce it around between
Oh,
them
they juggle that thing.
Because it's about athleticism and teamwork.
and showing off.
Yeah.
Imagine if they'd missed and kicked the ball into the middle of the smoke of the cloud.
Into the cloud, yeah.
They're just, oh, well, Rocky, can you go get it? And then really, like, crawl and then just really quickly stand up and
jump
throw it.
up and
Yeah.
bump it with your head. Yeah.
We've got like 3 shots at that. So it falls to the ground, the sleep machine, and
Yeah.
then just like
I was expecting it to shatter because it looks like glass. Instead, it just sort of flops onto the grass.
becomes a flaming silhouette.
Yeah, it like burns the silhouette into the ground as it disappears.
And it's a silhouette of, like, it forms a silhouette of what the, like, would only make sense from that camera angle.
Yes.
If that makes sense. Which is a very bizarre choice, but, you know.
So back in space, Serpentera is back to destroying buildings. We've kind of gone back. We've cheated a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because it does play it as if, like, at the end of the last episode, we've got a little, like, flash forward in time to see Lord Zedd hitting the destroy the planet button. But there's different dialogue this time.
Yeah, it really is just a cheat.
Yeah.
Having said that, I mean, if you hadn't seen yesterday's episode
Yeah.
in real time, like if you were a kid watching it, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Like if you missed an episode, you can't really jump into the world already mid-destruction.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a ton of sense.
I'm just surprised they just didn't keep the dialogue, you know.
Well, it's because different things happen.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
It was totally cheating, but
yeah,
you can
it's-
see why.
It's
Yeah.
cheating, but it's much less bullshit than Green No More Part 2.
Can I just jump back a second to them destroying the sleep machine?
Yeah.
They celebrate their victory, and Aisha gives Adam like a butt bump
Yeah.
in their
Yeah.
little victory dance.
Is that going to be a thing?
I hope so, but it was the strangest thing to see because clearly you guys noticed it
Yeah.
as well. Like it stands out. That's not a regular thing to do when you overcome a great challenge, just to
Nice
bump
one.
butts
So back on the deserted planet,
where there are no butt bumps.
you all mocked me,
Yeah.
but the ring goes on the finger and the hand lets go of the sword.
Yeah, it does. If you know what I mean.
Fair enough.
Think about it.
The ring goes on the finger, the hand lets go of the sword.
The problem isn't that I don't know what you mean; it's that I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So Goldar is trying to get Serpentera closer to the planet.
Yeah, that's strange.
It's standing on the planet.
Does he mean Earth?
I don't think
Because
so.
then they go to Earth.
But it's about like why haven't they destroyed the planet yet?
Yeah. I don't know, maybe it has to bend down like a giraffe.
Yeah, I was
Probably
thinking
do.
that. It has to sort of hunch over. And it's a hard thing to do. Maybe it's got, like, back problems.
So Lord Zedd basically says, "Shut the fuck up, dude," and just hits the button again.
Yeah.
And that's basically where we were.
Yeah.
He says, "Ta-ta, Power Rangers."
It's the most effeminate, like, final words ever.
Just like anachronistic. Too.
Yeah, yeah.
So we see
Fare thee well.
we see bits of the statue melted and destroyed.
Yeah.
Back in the command center, Alpha manages to teleport back Zack and Trini, and then Tommy and Kimberly, and then Billy, and he has to recalibrate the teleporter for some reason. Alpha says something.
Says to Billy, you're overloading it.
Right, and Zordon says, "Shut the fuck up, Alpha." Like,
Well, he says, I trust that Billy knows what he's doing. Let's give him a minute. Was
Yeah.
the line.
Which is weird because this is alien technology that, although like Billy has by now established that he knows how to run it.
but he doesn't trust that Alpha knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
The robot who's been with it for like 10 millennia or something dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought the gimmick of them teleporting back separately was a really cool.
It's interesting.
move.
Like, it didn't really pay off in any way.
No,
but
I think I was kind of expecting when that happened that Tommy would be lost in space with the sword for another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And, like, they'd have to go take care of something else and
Without
then
him, yeah.
could transfer the powers. He comes back straight away.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to it.
No. But it's like a little bit of interest.
Yeah. So Tommy's got the sword, and it
Yeah.
looks like, I don't know, what would you say it's made out of? It's like an old greeny, like a bronze.
Yeah, it's like a tarnished metal. It's like a rusted metal.
Yeah. So Zordon shoots some electricity into it, and it becomes golden.
And
I'm pretty sure that's his brain power,
And
as
bejeweled.
established previously.
Yeah, it's got a jewel of every coloured Power Ranger in it, including a white one, even though they only just made the White Ranger powers.
Yes.
And it doesn't have a green one, even though they already existed. Anyway,
Shut up, Michael.
so he holds it up. Red, yellow, and black electricity shoots through it and into the 3 new Power Rangers.
But you missed the bit where they brought the new Rangers to the command center. And is it Tommy? Like,
Yeah.
The 3 new Rangers arrive.
So Zordon says, "Behold, I present to you the new Power Rangers."
Yeah. And Tommy goes, Rocky, Adam. And he's just standing there like...
I'm here also.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was half expecting to be like, Rocky, Adam, the girl one.
Like, look,
The
I've only
lady.
known you guys for like 3 weeks, okay? I'm not
Yeah.
great with names.
Yeah.
It took me 7 months to learn Jason, and he's going to go, so...
If you don't know her name, though, you don't bring up anyone's names. You just be like, hey, guys.
Yeah.
I remember you people.
There's a great bit where Trini, Zack, and Jason, in footage shot from behind and archive footage, go like, "We can't leave now. There's some big shit happening." And Zordon's basically like, "You guys are all interchangeable. We've got 3 new ones. You'll be fine."
Yeah.
It's not-
Specifically, you mean nothing to me. Individually.
There's a lot of like, oh, you'll be such a great merit to, you know, the
Peace.
to peace with your Power Ranger knowledge or whatever. It's like, it's so ham-fisted.
So there's a brief moment where there's 2 red, black, and yellow Power Rangers.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that they couldn't show those 3 unmorphed.
Yeah.
On account of
They're
that
not
would
there
require
anymore.
them to not have quit. But I was not expecting that.
No, it's weird because it brings up that point of like, what are Power Ranger powers
Yeah,
exactly?
if
Like,
they've still got the outfit,
What
how...
is the suit?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's strange.
I kind of wish they'd all gotten like a costume upgrade at this point, because it doesn't feel special
No.
that they got like their new... Like, if they'd chosen this as the opportunity to introduce the Die Ranger costumes,
Oh, that would be the fucking sweet.
like, the Sword of Power lets us transfer, and it also lets us tap into
It
the
has
energy in a
extra power
different
in it,
way.
yeah.
So, like, here are your cool new outfits as well.
Yeah.
This would have been like a thing.
Yeah.
As it is, when they're all morphed and fighting a monster, it's identical.
It's so
Yeah.
different.
It's not different. It's been the last 20 episodes. And it's just a little disappointing to me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, they'll get new powers eventually.
They will.
There's a bit where they all look like ninjas.
Yes,
Is that right?
That's coming up.
Boy.
They'll get metallic armor for like 2 minutes.
The only thing I know about that is that there's an episode called Master Vile and the Metallic Armor.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the metallic armor is or...
Do you know who Master Vile is?
No.
Oh, awesome.
There's a lot of stuff coming up that I have no idea about.
That's exciting.
I didn't know who Tor was until 3 weeks ago.
No, you didn't know that he was just a little tortoise that beat onto a romantic crystal.
I didn't know that. So the 3 new Rangers take their helmets off. And I think that is when it almost works for me.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously the new guys.
Yeah.
They
It'd
do
just be able to see those Rangers with their helmets off is
Yeah.
novel now. After
Yeah.
6 weeks of that bullshit.
They do this thing where they go like hands in, hands to chest, hands in the air, and a laser shoots into the
Yeah,
sky.
what the fuck was
Like,
that?
nothing. It's just a little like.
Yeah, it's just
And like they all act as if it's a thing they could do.
they
Like
all
everyone
know
knows.
the move instinctively.
Yeah, even
Yeah,
the
like
new ones.
it's the Power Rangers handshake.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
That's how it was treated. And it's like he was teaching them like, oh, if you guys are Power Rangers, like 1, 2, 3, and phew. But like no one ever showed us that before. Like they only ever did it off camera.
And there's no like
And it will never happen again.
never. And there's no like they never suggest it is of any sort of significance. It's like this weird offhand thing they do. There's like pew, little lasers like what the fuck was that? Why was that? And why have we not seen it before?
Or ever again.
Or ever
That's it.
again. Like, can you do that on monsters? Can you just like do a little pew and like zap them in the face?
See, I just figured it was like a power high five sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who knows?
So Zordon does a whole spiel about like use your powers for good and don't escalate and
be sensible like a lion or whatever.
Yeah, you're smart, so you get this one. You are a girl. You get the one that the other girl used to have.
you wear a lot of red, so we're going to give you the red one.
Yeah. It's like as poorly handled as it was the past 2 times.
Adam should have been the Red Ranger.
100%. Because as soon as Rocky calls on the Thunder Sword,
It
like, fuck off,
sounds
Rocky.
wrong.
Yeah.
And part
No
of
one wants you here.
Look, my part of that is less hating Rocky and
Yeah.
more I've gotten used to hearing Jason say it.
Yeah.
But I understand that you've got just Rocky hatred.
Well, even when the more fight that comes up, when they're fighting putties, hearing Rocky's voice come out of that outfit immediately lessens that Ranger for me. I'm just like, oh god, I hate the Red Ranger now. Like immediately, I can't even see his face, and I know he's in there.
This must have fucked kids up. Because, like, I'm reacting weirdly to it.
Yeah.
And I have known this was coming since we started this podcast.
Yeah.
If you were a kid who, like, hadn't picked up that those 3 hadn't been on the show for a while...
It's very sudden.
Yeah.
Like unless you knew what was going on behind the scenes, they do just switch out those Rangers mid-episode and then just charge on like nothing happened.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting that they would end this fight with the 3 new ones.
Yeah.
And then be
Then
like...
the handoff.
Yeah, we do the handover at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But they do it, we must have been like halfway in.
Yeah.
And it's just, all right, well, you guys can fuck off to Switzerland or whatever.
Yeah.
Which they do.
They 100%
Which they
do.
totally do, yeah.
So Serpentera now flies into frame like a ship at the start of a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Still really cool.
Yeah.
Yep. They've used up most of their power, which Goldar
Which Goldar kept saying.
This one's not on him.
No, for once, not Goldar's fault.
So Lord Zedd summons a redneck blade tick.
Yeah.
I didn't catch the name at all.
He's called Silverhorns.
Now, Silverhorns is actually a major character in the video games,
Really?
which is strange. 'Cause he
He's
doesn't
got a cool look.
Yeah, he does have a cool look. He could do the thing like he would like burrow his blades into the ground. It would come up on the outside of the stage in the fighting game.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool character. Like
He does nothing this week.
no.
And it's like a cross between redneck and like old-timey Western criminal.
Because he starts making like sheriff and deputy.
Yeah,
references.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just the stuff that they choose to do in these episodes with these monsters. Like, was it Robo-Goat who sounded like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Like, Robo-Goat was really strong, so that kind of made sense.
Yep.
And 2 weeks ago, when Beamcaster talked like a radio announcer, that was a great gimmick, because he was like a broadcasting monster.
Yeah.
But when they just do... Oh, fuck.
He has to have a voice.
He has to have a voice. What haven't we used yet? I can do an old-timey criminal.
Yeah, good. Done.
Great.
Because, ticks. They're the old-timey criminals of the insect world.
Partner. Oh, boy.
Strange.
So Silverhorns is like blue
Yeah.
with silver
Horns.
spikes coming off him
Yeah.
that radiate electricity.
And
All of the time. Like a rainbow
They're
lightning.
super cool.
And he shoots blasts
Yeah.
at Rangers.
Yeah. He does shoot blasts at Rangers. That's his whole deal. He shoots explosions.
So-
Which is fine, but...
Whatever.
He summons some putties. They fight the putties.
Which is lessened by the fact that Rocky's voice is involved.
Lord Zedd is super shitty. Goldar looks fat.
Yeah, it looks like his mask isn't quite getting over the actor's face.
Yeah, it's like, well, what it is, I think, is because he's looking up so that he's looking at Lord Zedd, you can see, like a second chin section underneath the front of the mask.
Yeah.
And it makes it look like he's got a double chin.
Yeah.
It's not a good look for him.
No.
He actually just looks chubby.
Like he let himself go a bit.
Yeah.
We haven't skipped past the conversation that they had.
No, we
have
haven't yet.
Okay, good.
Because that's amazing and we're never going to
Probably the highlight of the episode.
So Lord Zedd makes Silverhorns grow giant.
Yeah.
Rocky says, you guys take care of Serpentera. I'll take down Silverhorns on my own.
Yep.
2 problems with that.
Yep.
One, it's Rocky's first time
Doing anything?
Yeah. So for him to go, no, guys, I've got this, like, it's a bit overconfident.
Yeah.
2, the rest of them are still standing there the next time we see them.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where, like, they don't go and do anything. They just stand and wait till they're called, basically.
Strange.
Yeah.
Very strange.
So Rocky summons the Red Dragon Tyrannosaurus.
I'm a man with stick Zord.
It sounds wrong. It just sounds wrong. It's going to take a while to get used to.
Yeah.
Matt will never get used to it.
Well, I'll never accept it. I'll get used to it.
Rocky gets his ass kicked in this fight, basically.
Which is, like, he obviously knows how to pilot it. It's not like he's unsure.
No.
He's just overpowered.
He's just getting Shrek, yeah.
So there's a weird bit where he starts to do his staff spinny charge attack.
Yeah.
And we just cut away.
Yeah, and we never find out what happened.
No.
Except the fact that it didn't work.
It
was too embarrassing to show. He, like, done it into a mountain and then just fell over.
So Tommy says, I'll go help Rocky.
Yeah.
And says, someone else says, we'll stay here and clobber Serpentera.
Yeah.
So, 2 things again. First of all, they don't do it.
No.
Second of all, those 4 together are capable of making a chariot.
Yes.
What they can create is a flat surface for something else to stand on.
Yeah.
They don't have any kind of offensive
The 2 things
power.
that do the standing are now taken.
Yeah, exactly. The 2 actual fighting power robots are going to go off and do a thing. You might as well all go take care of Silverhorns.
And then come back.
And then all come back and fight Serpentera.
Which is, like, where they end up with. They just get to it by a very strange sort of logic.
So Lord Zedd goes to destroy everything.
Yeah.
Serpentera's out of power. It's just,
He
its
kept
batteries are
saying,
dead.
he kept saying,
Goldar provided him as much warning as is possible.
Yeah.
if you destroy the planet, we'll be out of power. That will use up most of our power. We don't have enough power to do that.
Yeah. So, in the meantime, they summon Tor and they do the drop thing.
Yeah, it's interesting this time that the White Tiger Zord gets into Tor's shell and, like, I guess adds some extra weight, which makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, helps with the drop.
Yeah.
It's not as great the second time.
No.
It's still pretty great.
It does lose something,
but
lose some impact though.
something that it had that first time when I had no idea it was going to happen is lost the second time when it's just a thing that it does now.
Yeah.
But
And especially now that it's thing. Like, we haven't really seen any other finishing moves with Tor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lord Zedd is angry. He utters the best line in the history of this show. Does someone else want to take it?
No, you're going to enjoy it the most.
Yeah.
He says to Goldar, "Do we have power yet? Thomas Edison."
Which is, like...
Long lunch!
So, okay, did he read Earth history books?
That's the impression I got, yeah.
How does he know about Thomas Edison?
He read up.
How does Goldar...
No, Goldar doesn't.
He also says it like it's a sick burn. But Thomas Edison did provide power.
Exactly.
Like, it's not an insult.
Yeah, it's not like he referenced someone who fell short of, like, not functioning electricity.
Yeah. And I mean, like, Thomas Edison was kind of a shitty dude who wasn't, you know, as smart as he put on.
I feel like
But
it's a really complex burn.
Exactly.
That's what he was going for.
That's what I'm saying. Like
you've run up having all this electricity knowledge, but you're really a weird guy.
yeah.
You stole it all from Nikola Tesla. That's what he's saying.
Ooh, burn. It's just... And yet, still provided power, so that, like, the core burn there still doesn't make sense.
It's just... I think the part that's out of left field is it might be the first time in 88 episodes that anyone has said the name of a person who existed.
Yeah.
It's like the first historical reference this show has ever had.
And it came from fucking Lord
It comes
Zedd.
from a character who has been alive for tens of thousands of years and is trying to conquer the Earth from his moon palace.
Yeah, but it has also only been on Earth for, like, a month. You know?
It's like, that's enough time to read a book.
Yeah, but that, like, is that the book that
I
he
like the
reads?
thought that before he goes to conquer any planet, he gets like
He
a
reads
briefing
up,
of
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, what have they got? Thomas Edison invented electricity. I'll write that down in case I need that for a sick bird.
That could be hilarious down the track.
Or what if the alien who invented, like, what if Thomas Edison is the name of an alien who did something else and
Like
that
heroically failed
to invent electricity on like Glocktar 9, and that's a really sick Lord Zedd bird that happens to
and
sound...
also an incredible coincidence. Yeah.
Oh no, he failed to create power on his own planet, secretly snuck like to Earth, and then outside of Lord Zedd's knowledge,
Thomas Edison was an alien.
and actually succeeded here, but Lord Zedd doesn't know that.
That's
he
a coincidence.
Yeah, he doesn't understand that on our planet, that's actually not a burn because he did succeed.
There's aliens the world over on like KO35 who laugh at Thomas Edison, the man who tried to invent electricity.
Yeah.
But could not. I mean, you never know.
So Serpentera, I mean, they say it doesn't have power. It has enough power to run away.
Yeah. Which I buy. Like,
Yeah, that's fine. Because otherwise it just has to stand there in that dark-ass shot looming over the city.
I would suggest that if it's got that much power, it's got enough power to fly into space and then just drop, which would kill everyone in Angel Grove.
Yeah, that's true. But then it might wreck Serpentera.
Sure, but you know...
Serpentera surely is expendable in the cause.
Well, no, but like if the Power Rangers get out, they still have to defeat the Power Rangers and don't have Serpentera anymore.
That's true.
So that's the disappointing end to Serpentera for now.
Oh, yeah. Called it.
I know Serpentera comes back in Forever Red.
Yep.
8 years from now. I don't know if Serpentera ever comes back again.
In between those.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, so Serpentera comes back at some point because Matt is terrible.
You'd
at
hope
writing.
so. They spent money on that. Like,
Well, the Japanese spent money on it.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, someone put a lot of effort in. You'd hope you'd get more than 2 episodes out of it.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to see when that is. Alright, so basically we're just back in the command center now.
Yep.
We see the 3 Rangers arrive in Switzerland via taxi.
The 3 X-Rangers, no longer Power Rangers.
No, Matt, you're always
Once
a Ranger.
always a Ranger.
That's
There's a whole episode named after that exact concept.
Yeah, that's true.
They're shot from a distance, and they're very clearly not them. But
I'm sure I didn't see a black dude at all.
Oh, there was one, but he
There
was
was?
he was at the back of the shot. Yeah.
Okay.
it's too late for them to care at this point.
Yeah.
We've replaced them completely.
Yeah, we're done now. It's out.
Zordon says to the 3 new Rangers, "You've lived up to my expectations."
Yeah.
Which is like...
Kind of a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, a really like dark way of phrasing. You did a good job, as I was sure.
Congratulations, you guys pulled off the bare minimum needed to impress me.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
anyway,
don't even. I think if you're impressed, they exceed your expectations.
Yeah.
What he's saying is, yeah, you did about as well as I thought you'd do.
yeah, I wasn't expecting any more, but
Yeah.
you did what I
Which you
imagined.
could chalk up to him being like a master estimator, but still, it's kind of a dick thing to say.
Yeah, I mean, just be nice. Give them their moment.
Yeah.
And I think it's Kimberly is like, oh, so sad to see these guys go, but I'm excited to have 3 new Rangers.
Yeah, it's like middlemaning the shit out of it.
Yeah. Okay, and then they finish off with
They
the...
jump into the air and freeze frame.
Yeah,
which
the-
I think they did at the end of the first episode.
Yeah, and they've done it once more, I think, since Tommy came back. It's a callback,
Yeah.
which is nice, I guess.
And that's the end.
That's that. That's Jason and Trini and Zack gone. Well, Zack and Trini, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, end of an era.
Yeah. Well, that's that, I guess.
Yeah. Bye, guys. We'll miss you.
I'm sorry it was so incredibly underwhelming.
Well, look, I mean, as far as multi-part episodes go, it's probably the second best. So, like, that's pretty good for the show.
Oh, boy.
Like, it could have been so much worse.
I just love that their handle on like pacing is so shit that the first episode of this 2-part was actually alright.
Oh, the first episode is always the best of these multi-part
Yeah,
things for some
absolutely,
reason.
every time.
Yeah, and then the second episode is like, what the... How did they fuck that up so badly?
I mean, the answer is always because they have to get back to status quo in 22 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got a couple of lists to do.
Yeah.
Let's start with, because it's going to be quick, with the new Ranger Danger sword board.
Yeah, the sword board.
Sort of light.
Low on the list.
Above the Sword of Power.
I think so. Yeah, because
It
it
looks
pretty cool.
cooler and it...
Does some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But definitely below the Power Sword.
Is never used as a sword, so
No.
yeah.
True.
All right. That's the sword board.
That was easy. Sword board
as
done.
we said earlier, if we've forgotten a sword, send us a sword in an email.
Don't actually send us a sword. That's illegal. I think.
Please send us a sword. There is no reward, but
No sword reward.
for the sword board.
Only a board for the swords, no rewards.
Yeah.
Are you bored of the sword board? Is that the look you're giving me?
No, I'll never be bored of the sword board.
Right. Ranger Danger creature feature.
Mm.
Is Serpentera a creature? I think so.
I think, yeah, we made Tommy like a thing on the creature features. So
sure. So, Serpentera started off strong,
yeah,
ended weak,
yeah.
but through no particular fault of its own.
No, I think that was all
It
Lord
ran out
Zedd's.
of power.
Yeah,
High, I'd say.
Definitely.
definitely high.
Better than Pumpkin Wrapper?
Oh,
That's tough, isn't
oh,
it?
that's a hard one. Oh, what do you think, Michael? Would you be willing to put it above Pumpkin Wrapper? Where's Pumpkin Wrapper at the moment?
Pumpkin Wrapper is at number 9.
Who else is around Pumpkin Wrapper?
Immediately below Pumpkin Wrapper is Bones, and I think Serpentera is better than Bones.
Yeah, I would have to admit that, even if it means bumping Bones off the top 10, which is sad for me.
But I don't think Serpentera is better than Pumpkin Wrapper.
I'm so torn on this.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of is. Like, in that first episode,
He's terrifying.
he's the coolest thing that's happened on the show, basically. But I also, would much rather a Pumpkin Wrapper shirt than a Serpentera shirt.
Yeah, sure.
Because at least Pumpkin Wrapper is so insanely original. Like,
Yeah.
he's a rapping pumpkin, whereas, a giant dragon is not
This
that
show's
original.
already got a giant dragon.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think below Pumpkin Wrapper.
Number 10.
Number 10.
I think that's a good debut
in
outing
the
for
top 10.
Serpentera.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Nice one, Serpentera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And what about Silver Tick or Silverfish?
Silverhorn.
Silverhorns.
He's so average. Somewhere in the middle.
You think middle?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I was going to go lower than middle.
All right, well...
He was pretty good.
Was he better than RoboGoat?
No. Better than that accent? Are you kidding?
Okay, RoboGoat's in the bottom 6.
What?
God, Robo got a raw deal.
Is he better than Nimrod, the Scarlet Sentinel, who was a fist with a mask on the back?
Yeah, that happened.
I gotta watch more of this.
Yeah, probably.
Is he better? Okay, so he's better than RoboGoat?
I think so.
Really?
He's...
Cast your mind back to RoboGoat. Like, who did you have a better
If I
time
can be
with?
honest, I'm not sure why RoboGoat is so low.
No, why is Robert
Was he defeated easily? Did he do...
I think so.
Was he an ineffective monster? Is that why?
Yeah, I did enjoy RoboGoat more, thinking about it.
Wait. No, we're confused. RoboGoat isn't the one that sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's the Lizardinator.
Really? Oh, of
Yeah.
course it is, Lizardinator, yeah.
RoboGoat is the one who...
Has a goat on his chest.
No, RoboGoat was in The Green Dream.
Yeah, he's just a goat with a bit of metal on him, yeah?
Yeah, let me see if I can get a picture up of RoboGoat. RoboGoat.
It's quality podcast.
RoboGoat was shit.
Yeah, he was pretty shit. Definitely better than that.
Alright. Better than Dramole?
He had less interesting powers than Jamal, but seemed a lot more effective as a monster.
Okay, well, immediately above Dramole is Spidertron.
No, I like Spidertron.
So between Spidertron and Dramole,
I think so.
that puts him in at about number 60.
Okay, yeah. That's
Of how many?
Just about 80?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. He didn't do a lot.
He didn't really earn a spot.
Bottom quarter seems fair enough.
Yeah.
Alright. Now I would like to play an exciting game called What Was Serpentera in Japan?
A giant dragon robot?
Way cooler.
Okay, here's what I want to know. I want you to guess.
Oh, hang on. Is this Die Ranger?
Yes.
I kind of want to watch Die Ranger.
So you don't want to know.
I'd rather not, if that's okay.
Well, Matt, can you leave the room and
Okay,
I'll tell
yeah.
our listeners?
All right.
That's fine.
Actually,
So,
let's go.
Tim,
Yeah,
do
let's
you
find
have a
out.
guess as to what Serpentera might have been?
I mean, what do you mean?
Like, Serpentera isn't just a giant dragon robot that someone pilots.
Yeah.
He's like a thing.
Is he the evil version of the Red Zord?
Serpentera, in Japan called Daijin Ryu, which
Uh-huh.
means great god dragon,
Yep.
is a giant dragon who was created by the universe to preserve the natural balance of the cosmos.
No, of course.
The reason for his appearance is to stop the human race's foolish conflict by destroying the Earth. Because of this neutral standpoint, he will kill anyone, innocent or guilty, if he deems them a threat to the universal balance.
Because that sounds balanced. That to me sounds quite balanced.
So basically his job is when he sees someone destroying the balance, he just destroys them.
Yeah. Like, I mean, look, after having seen how terrifying he is, I am not shocked.
In his early sketches, apparently there was a humanoid form that never happened, which is incredibly disappointing. And this says that he is 345 meters tall, which
No,
is
he's not.
completely meaningless
No,
to
he's
me.
not. 345 meters.
Is a skyscraper,
No, it's not.
isn't it?
I don't think so. Even if it is, you've seen how tall he is.
Yes.
He's like 5 times as tall as the tallest building on the skyline.
Yes, he's pretty big. The Sydney Harbour Bridge, for reference, is 141 metres tall.
He is so much taller than even 3 of those.
He's like 10 of those.
He is 8 to 10. he is potentially a kilometre tall.
He's giant. And he's also a god. And
Created by the universe.
But he's a robot. Like, he's a robot, definitely.
He's super a robot. Oh, there you go.
I'm trying to call Matt back, but he has...
Has he disappeared?
Yeah, I'm calling him back now.
He's been summoned.
Alright, so that's what Serpentera is. So there you go.
So do I have something to look forward to on
Yes.
Fire Ranger?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I mean, we already knew you did because there's 2 more episodes with Company President Gravestone.
Yes!
But I think we should get to one of those at some point.
Has Michael told you our company president?
I have
Gravestone?
heard about Company President Gravestone.
My favourite thing in the world. Like, I want a company president Gravestone tattoo, I think. I don't know what I'd want in his little... I want him to be flipped open with something in there, but I don't know what yet. What do you think?
I don't... There's too much for me to take in that sentence.
Okay. Well, have a think about it.
Listeners,
Yeah.
if you know what Matt should have in his Company President Gravestone tattoo,
Yeah.
please write in.
Yeah. It can be something that he had on that episode, like a fortune-telling machine, or...
Flamethrower.
Or a flamethrower. Or it can be something completely, like, maybe it has, like, a metaphysical message, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Be good to others.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
All right, I think we're going to have to end it there.
If he flipped open and there was just like a scroll that came out of his body and it said "Be good to others" on it, how great would that be?
That is a winner.
Yeah.
All right,
That's a
so
winner.
we know what Matt's getting tattooed, and we'll be sure to put photos of that up when he
But
gets
look,
it.
I want to hear your suggestions as well.
Yeah, then you might have something even better.
Yeah, probably not, but
Or suggestions for another message.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so we will be back next week with Goldar's Vice Versa.
Yep.
And hopefully a new guest. But we've got to make sure we've got that locked in.
Yeah.
It may just be us. Who knows?
Who knows? No one. That's who.
Yeah.
Good
All
talk.
right. All right. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Tim.
No problemo.
Thanks for power transferring with us, guys.
Yeah.
And we're so happy to have you with us
New
on this new era.
segments next episode.
Probably. Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys then.
Cool. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you, bro.